when you asked me for the first time, how you feeling? I had to like stop and ask myself, how am I feeling? How am I feeling right now? I'm like, man, I feel like $1,000,000.
You are helping set a foundation for their lives. So I took that and I'm like, I just applied it to everything that I do. Fatherhood, marriage, friendship. When the curtain's over, it's game time. It's time to play. You know what I mean? You can't pour from an empty cup. You have to, pour into, you have to do something for yourself in order to provide for the people around you. I have no issues. It'll be fine. Everything always works out. And that's the mindset that I adopted. And it went from like that lack mindset to a growth mindset. I can do whatever I want to do. I can get whatever I want to get. I can accomplish whatever I want to accomplish.
This is going to be a friendly, cool conversation,
so
like
good.
Normal, everything. Some people, they need a little pep talk because they get nervous. I can tell you're not nervous at all. I think I'm more nervous than you are. I don't even know why I'm nervous.
I used to be extremely nervous. And when I was younger, and that's one of the things I wish I can go back to. I used to have all these public speaking events and things like that. I did storytelling. I tell these like fun facts about myself in classes and stuff. And they're like, really? But I'm like, you can't tell from how I am in front of a group of people. It's easy for me. But it took practice and it took years. So no, I'm definitely not nervous. Like, this is a regular combo.
Well, dude, I want to start out by saying thank you, man, for being here. Thank you for setting time aside to come up here. And I love to give credit where credit's due.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Who was that?
I forgot her name.
It's all right. Well, we won't include it. You forgot her name. Credit where credit's due. So I had been wanting to spark back up my podcast. Okay. And I had done over 100 talking head podcasts, right? Just talking into the mic and then later on speaking into the camera. I got over it. I got burnt out. Right. I let it go for like a year and a half. And I'm like, dude, I want to bring this back. I feel like it's important. The whole no ceilings concept, right? That's the whole brand around no ceilings, there is no ceiling. And then you and I had a conversation in the gym, I want to say about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, early in the morning. Hardly anybody else is there. Saturday morning. Yep. And then you with your entry of how you feeling? I'm feeling good. How are you feeling? And then we went right into it. I think I came up and I asked you like, hey, yo, bro, I'm just curious, man. Because I like asking you this question because of what you say. I'm always like, what's Omar going to say? And the rebirth of this podcast has something to do with you. So thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. The conversations that we have sparked this whole entire desire and is rebirthing it again. So again, thank you, man, for this. And I want to highlight a few things about you. And I want to have this be the intro when I do these podcasts, is just highlight what I see, what do I acknowledge, what do I appreciate in the other person. So a few things that stand out to me about you. One of them is you do always ask, how you feeling? Right? Most people ask, how you doing? What's good? What's going on? And those are kind of my intros, my hellos, right? And when you asked me for the first time, how you feeling? I had to like stop and ask myself, how am I feeling? How am I feeling right now? I'm like, man, I feel like $1,000,000. Right. And I think since I've known you for a couple years, I think just coming here to the gym, and I have been saying that now, I'm feeling like $1,000,000, or I'm feeling like $1 billion. Holla, right? And it's because you're asking me how I'm feeling. So thank you for that, because you actually had me tap into something deeper than how you doing, what's going on. Sure. So that's number one. Number two is, when I see your energy, or when I see you, right, like the eye contact, the energy, it never seems like you're ever exhausted or tired.
Yo, everybody says that. My wife would be like, yeah, okay. But yeah, everyone says that. Yeah.
And I know you're human, so I know that you probably are, but you never show it. And so you're always charged. You always have high energy. Yeah. And dude, that is something that like, I think a lot of people aspire to create in themselves, is that high energy, especially as a parent or as a business owner, or as what you do too, as business owner and trainer. Like, it's a blend of all of it, right? Yeah, you got to show up and you got to be turned on. Same thing in my world too, in coaching, in a relationship, as a dad too as well, and talking to a bunch of people. Like, you got to be activated. It's almost safe to have that switch, which leads me to the next thing here, right? The switch. I know that people who operate at this level, at this caliber, they have to have a switch. Something happened in their life where they were feeling like shit, they were in the trenches, and something had to get turned up.
Here we go.
Because whatever wasn't working was getting the results that were shit. and you flip the switch. Now you're like, game time, bitches.
Yeah.
Game time. All right. And the last one here, right? Last one here. Am I on point so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in my head, just like working right now.
And we'll do a good job at coming back to them, to remembering each point.
Okay.
Right. And the last thing you mentioned a few times, and this is what I would love to highlight too. You mentioned a couple times about how you made it up in your mind that you weren't going to tolerate certain things. No more excuses, no more playing at a certain level. Number one, all right? Number two, we talked about me being from LA, you being from the East Coast. Where exactly?
New York.
New York. What part of New York?
I'm from Long Island.
From Long Island.
Yeah.
Is that where
He's from Staten.
It's from Staten.
Yeah.
Okay. So from Long Island, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about a little bit of our upbringing and how we feel a little bit more relaxed and safer in this society compared to where we're coming from, where you have to kind of look over your shoulder and you can't look at people the wrong way or else you'll get hit up.
Yeah.
And for me, like, you couldn't wear certain color shoes, certain hats. Like, people be like, where are you from?
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that,
For
right?
sure. Yep.
And so here I feel it's a lot safer. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like I can move a lot easier. You do too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I don't talk to a lot of people like that, or with have those conversations with people about that part. And so when we spoke this last time and a few other times, this topic came up. I'm like, oh, you get it.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
So you choose where you want to start from what I listed out.
As far as like the never being tired thing, and I made a joke because my wife, I tell her every day, I'm tired. Like, I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting going, and I have to be on. So in the past, other jobs that I've had, one of the things that I've taken away from some of my other jobs was like, when the curtains open, it's showtime. You know what I mean? So like, and I used to work with children. So it's like, they don't care, like, if you had a bad day. They don't care if you were in traffic. They don't care. You have to be there for them. You are helping set a foundation for their lives. So I took that and I'm like, I just applied it to everything that I do. Fatherhood, marriage, friendship. When the curtain's over, it's game time. It's time to play. You know what I mean? It's time to put on. It's time to show. And just going back to feeding off of everyone else's energy. I know that people need me and my energy. It's been a bunch of times in a 5 a.m. class where people are like, man, thanks for the energy, bro. You know what I mean? And I know they just got out of bed, to come here to the gym to be with me, whether it's the class or just the convenience of the time. I'm still there to lead them to, to their fitness goals. So I just kind of feed off of, the people, knowing that they need me as well. They need my energy. And then, like I said, the curtains open is showtime. And that's just a part of business as well. Like, just like the kids didn't care that I had a flat tire or that I was having a sleepy morning. The members are coming in here motivated. They're looking at me as an example. They're looking at me to help guide them, help support them, challenge them. So it's my job to kind of like be that. So, I do get tired, sometimes, but no, I come in here and it's time to go. And then, just talking about him, Lyle is literally, he'll pick me up out of bootstraps sometimes when it comes to that, because I'll be like the same thing. Lyle, how you feeling? Man, I'm feeling like 100 million. Man, I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling blessed. Like, that's always his answer, and it's so consistent. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Let's get to it, So I'm actually really glad that I connected with him down here. Both from the same city, but I never ran into Lyle in New York. So it's a blessing to have him.
Let me ask you about that, about the energy that you're tapping into, right? For someone who, let's say, is wanting that and they don't have access to that, right? Or they don't know that they have access to it. Like, what would you tell someone who feels like they're lacking energy? They're just drained out. They got kids, they got a business, they're trying to hustle, they're trying to work, they're trying to create connections. What do you draw from? I know you said once the curtains are open, right? For you, that means something. Right? Explain a little bit about that.
I just kind of try to find what inspires people, what drives people, and what their why is for the most part. I try to tell people to, especially coming to like a gym setting. I don't mean to talk about the gym the whole time, but like a gym setting, this is your 1 to 2 or however long you have hours to yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. You have to, pour into, you have to do something for yourself in order to provide for the people around you, whether it's monetary, whether it's time, whether it's energy, whether it's just, just being there and being present. So again, I just get people's why. An example, I have a client who didn't really have a weight goal or number goal. It was just like, I just want to be nicer to my kids. He was extremely irritable. He was stressed and overwhelmed because of work and life. And, you know, I kind of remind him, and I'll ask him too, like, how you at home? How's your daughter? She good? Yeah, we went to Disney World. We did this, we did that. It's just like, all right, this stuff's working. You know what I mean? So I just, again, try to find their why. Because what I do is selfless, man. We're pouring into people all day, every day. You know what I mean? So it's just selfless work. And I'm just trying to make sure that the people I serve are, you know, happy, healthy, and enjoying their experience. So,
bro, you touched upon something that I try to drill into my clients' minds, is that this has to be bigger than you. Right. Whatever you're up to, whatever purpose, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, it has to be bigger than you.
Yeah, for sure.
It has to be about the world or other people around you.
Absolutely.
That's what drives it forward.
It's a line of work I'm in. I'm helping other people all day. You know what I mean? It's bigger than me. You know, I want to be, I tell everybody all the time, I want to be impactful. So you mentioning like this podcast being, you know, revamped and rebranded because of something I mentioned, that's a goal of mine in life. Like, I want to leave this earth and everyone that I've been able to rub elbows with or have a conversation with, or, you know, be in that space, just be like, man, that guy helped me in some type of way, you know, whether directly or indirectly, like, you know, so that's my thing. And then, like, going back to what you mentioned about what was the switch. So, I don't know, I guess I just thought, like, my entire life, as far as, like, athletics is concerned and things like that, was just kind of like, okay, from junior high school to high school, here we go. From high school to college, here we go. I'm playing sports. I'm doing my thing. There was never any real, I mean, you know, when it comes to, like, transitioning from, like, college and sports and things like that, there was never really a struggle. And then I got out of college, and life was real. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like, okay, I thought I was just gonna, like, it was just gonna be that fairy tale. Go to college, get out of college, get a job, work, and I'm chilling. I'm doing my thing. I got the house, the picket fence, all this stuff, and it was not happening. It was tough to find work. Like, I started training, and then I got to the realization, like, wait, my whole livelihood depends upon this guy's, you know, what he wants to do, or this lady, what she wants to do. And not everybody sees health and wellness and fitness and things like that as important as I do, you know what I mean? And then there was just, like, you know, I found I was working, doing my thing. I found a good job. I was doing my thing, but I was in an environment, like, I just felt like like, looking back now, I guess I was a little depressed. I know I was a little anxious as well. And my wife kind of was just kind of like, you hate that job. It's not serving you. Once you go back to training, I'm like, hell no. Because I don't want to have to rely on someone else's, like, lifestyle or their finances to make sure that I'm okay. And then, ironically, she was like, why don't you go to that Lifetime? I said, hell no again. I'm like, that big, I don't know if I can, big ass gym? Hell no, I was a little intimidated. So I got in, and then I started kind of doing my thing, and COVID hit. So we got furloughed. I started to find that people started to see fitness in a different light. They started to see health in a different light. Things started to kind of change and click for some people. I'm seeing this around me, and I think I just took advantage. I started training people outdoors because we had everything in New York at the time was closed. And then out of nowhere, she gets a call from, hey, Baptist. I'm like, where's that? She's like, Kendall. Now in New York, I only know South Beach, maybe Brickell, and I guess Wynwood because of the Art Basel. But we don't know Kendall and Coral Gables. Where the hell is that at? So she's like, hey, look, I'm getting this job and I'm going. I still didn't want to go. It was New York for life, you know. I'm never leaving New York. So I was like, whatever. So I went to I got called, and they told me, like, hey, you know, there's opportunity in Florida. There's a place in Coral Gables. I knew Coral Gables, though, because of the video games, because I knew the University of Miami was in Coral Gables. So, like, oh, shoot, okay, that's cool. Googled how far I was from her job. Ended up getting down here, and then I think that's when the switch flipped. It was kind of like, nothing's unattainable. Here I am from New York thinking that I can't do certain things, or things just won't work out. And then things just started to flow. I got into Lifetime. People started to kind of like gravitate to me, whether it was the energy, my skill set, what have you. and I just started to do really, really well. I was extremely consistent. And then it became like, I don't even like, some may say like, oh, he has good sales numbers, things like that. I'm not even a salesman. I just feel like it's true, authentic, and organic relationship building, rapport building, and just showing people that they can do certain things that they didn't think they could do, just as I did. And that's when it flipped. Even when I'm like, something happens nowadays, I'm used to get all anxious. Oh, how am I gonna get this? And I have to do this to get this. And now it's just kind of like, yeah, I'll get it. It's all right. I have no issues. It'll be fine. Everything always works out. And that's the mindset that I adopted. And it went from like that lack mindset to a growth mindset. And then from there, man, it's just been crazy. Like the amount of resources that I have, the experiences that I've had in the last 4 years of being here, the people that I've met, the places that I've been, it's just like, it really took me thinking different for all of this to happen. And I was before had a lack mentality. Oh, I'm not gonna train. These people are not gonna buy training. So like, no, they're gonna buy training. They're gonna love training with me. They're gonna have a great experience. They're gonna see results, things like that. So it's definitely been, that's definitely what was the switch that flipped. Like, the growth mindset and just nothing's unattainable. I can do whatever I want to do. I can get whatever I want to get. I can accomplish whatever I want to accomplish. And it's crazy. Like, it's really crazy. The people in my life, my family, I give the utmost. People that I work with, my colleagues, I salute them as well. Lyle is a definite standout in that situation because, just little things like, bro, you lifting every day, do a powerlifting competition. Now I'm on stage doing that because he decided to do jiu-jitsu in his 30s and he's working towards that, so. And then some of the leadership that's above me, like Alejandro was a huge part of, how I view things as far as, being a leader is concerned. So,
Share with me a little bit about that. What changed as far as that goes that Alejandra had influence on you in terms of leadership and stuff like that?
Alejandra was, I don't know how old she is now. She's 29, 30? No, something like that. But she was 28 years old in a general management position, fearless. You know what I mean? Like, extremely fearless, so like, and she was like that too, like with the growth mindset. I'll figure it out. I don't know it, but I'll try to get the answers. And she just fell into her role gracefully. And I was just like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I just enjoy a go-getter. I enjoy a hustler. I enjoy somebody who just like shows no fear and is really sure of themselves. Of course, she became my trainer. Like, going back to saying like trainers need trainers, like, I think I'm all over the place right now. But yeah, she became my trainer and I saw the results. It was like talking about being coachable. Here I am a coach. I think I can train. I know what I'm doing, but I got someone else on my back every day. Like, this is too light. Why did you only do it like this? The form is terrible. And here I am. This is what I tell everyone, fix your form. And she's telling me like, it's because it's me. She's not going to tell anybody else your form is terrible. But she let me know and she's giving me the raw. And I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? So, and then I started to see the results. The strength started to come. The size started to come. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is somebody that I highly respect. She's an acquired taste. But, ultimately I think she means well. And that, it's just, I just admired the shrewdness and the like, I'm going to do this. Every time she said she wanted to do something, she did it. You know what I mean? And that kind of was like, okay,
It seems like life was, and it is confronting for everyone. Mm-hmm. However, some people just can't face it. But it seems like whatever life threw at you, you're able to face it head on and confront it and really be like, all right, this is what's up. Like, all right, cool. Yeah. What am I going to do next now?
Yeah, absolutely. I always, I thought of this morning too, because one, I feel like I never really get to enjoy my accomplishments because I'm always thinking about the next thing. One of my good friends, Kel, he's always like, bro, like when I got engaged, I'm already thinking about the marriage. When I got a promotion, I'm already thinking about, okay, what would corporate look like? Well, he's like, bro, just enjoy the moment. You just moved to Florida, chill, like it's all right. Like, so that's one thing, like, it's a gift and a curse, I guess. I'm always like looking for that next thing. Like, I'm always like, my brain's always moving. I need to slow down, but yeah. So I definitely thought of that this morning too. Just always like thinking about what's next and how can I do this and how can I improve. Like, so yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is why you're perfect for this, and this is why we connect, because I have that obsessive personality too as well, where if it wasn't used for what I'm using it now, which is construction to build, bro, I would be destroying everything around me. Myself first, and then everything else after that.
Yeah, I mean, I had a unorthodox upbringing. My mom is extremely supportive. My mom is like the reason for pretty much everything, man. When I look back as being a parent now, I'm like, wow, I should have been listening to her, because I find myself saying the same thing to my kids, that kind of thing. She was protective, and she was aware of what was going on, and she kind of steered me in the right path, and I appreciate that. Because, I mean, I guess I was supposed to be like a statistic. My dad, he just got pardoned in 2021. He was in prison since I was 10. 1996 is when he went in. He got out in 2021, and he wasn't supposed to get out until about 2038. You know what I mean? And I'm coming from that, where I'm sure people was like, he's gonna be like his dad. My uncles with pretty much similar things like that, and I just always, for some reason, none of that bothered me, because they would always ask, like, me and my dad still had a relationship. I would visit. We still have one now, but it just wasn't, like having a dad in the house kind of thing. But I was just old, that I never let that phase me. And I don't know, I think that's like a gift too. Like, for some reason, I was always Teflon to like crazy things going on around me. And I just knew that from young, I wanted more. Like, literally, bro, it's crazy how these conversations come. Because today, I think one of my clients asked me about like bad kids and bad seeds or whatever. And I was just telling her an example of someone I grew up with who, he was dealt a bad hand, and he just kind of fell into that as he got older. Whereas another guy that I know had a similar upbringing, but he's a business owner. He's, my mom used to always say, like, he's like a little man. And I asked him, like, what drove you when we were young and all this stuff's going on around? And he's just like, bro, I knew I wanted more for myself. So when I'm going to football practice and everybody's playing around, I am locked in, because my mom can't pay for college. I need to get to college. When I'm going to track practice, I'm locked in. Because I used to be playing around and stuff, but he was just like serious all the time and be mad at me for playing around. You know what I mean? So, those types of things. I'm just like, I just want more. I'm going to get more. I enjoy like this life, and like we mentioned, like this safe life in the Florida Coral Gables and all that stuff. It's amazing. It's palm trees, it's sunshine. Like, I feel good out here. So it's like, all those things all those seeds that I planted, people that I've met, all the work that I've put in has ultimately gotten me here. And I think that this is like, I'm experiencing some success right now. I still haven't sat down to kind of like, wow, I'm here. I got a house last year, all those things. I still haven't sat and really basked in or celebrated that, because I'm always thinking about the next thing. So
it could be kind of haunting, huh? Where it seems like it's like nothing's good enough.
I used to think like that. Now I'm kind of, being a dad, I'm kind of like, I see the fruits of my labor now. Like, my daughters are comfortable. They can get whatever they want. It's funny, like, one broke her iPad the other day, and it's like, I'm giving her a lecture because I wanted to take care of her stuff, but my friends are like, just get her a new one. And I'm like, no, when I was little, my mom would have been like, go read a book, you figure it out, like, kind of thing. So it's just good to see that I'm able to give them something, not necessarily material, like just kind of provide for them in a way in which they're comfortable and they can experience life without worry or, those things that I may have had to, think about.
You have a 2-year-old, and how old's the other one?
5.
5-year-old.
2 and 5. Nirvana and Kindle.
Nirvana is the eldest?
She's the 5-year-old.
Is she starting to pick up, or at least sort of display, the growth mindset that you've adopted?
I think so. I think Nirvana, and which is great. It's like innocence. She thinks she can do anything in the world, and I like that. Even when people kind of like try to, no, you can't. I tell them, don't say that to her. Let her believe that she can do anything in the world, because she can. Who are you to tell her that she can't? And then when that time comes, when she's older and reality kind of starts to set in, let her figure it out on her own. Mm-hmm. But, I always want to speak life into my daughters. I always want to uplift them. So I'm literally telling them constantly, like, you're amazing, you're beautiful. Like, they call me every day at 9 o'clock FaceTime before they go to school. And I'm just like, listen, you're a legend, you're amazing, you're a champion, like that kind of thing. Like, you're just going to keep hearing it. And I just hope, in hopes of them just kind of, that them carrying that with them through life, like, you know what I mean? So definitely think that she has that. Kendall is still just a baby, just kind of doing her thing, kind of watching what's going on around her. But I think that they can feel it, you know, that they, you know, have the strongest dad in the neighborhood kind of thing around them. Yeah.
I can guarantee you, bro, having a 17-year-old daughter, I did the same things with her too as well. Speaking life into her, speaking possibility into her reality, into her. And the same thing too, reminding her of her power and how much of a great worker she is, how intelligent. I would stay away from, you're so intelligent, you're so smart. It's like you always figure it out. You know you're smart, but you always figure it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Instilling the work ethic, you know? Like
absolutely.
it's about not about the hustle, but it's about your effort.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're going to mess up. It doesn't mean that you're less intelligent.
Right. Absolutely.
But you're doing everything right. And I think that I like to think that I did everything right, or at least some things right, especially when it comes to mindset.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna say?
No, I was gonna say no. That's really what I want them to. I want them to be extremely confident. Again, like I said earlier, I want them to be able to communicate with me. I want them to be able to trust me. You know, I think a lot of parents get into the I'm the parent, you're the child kind of thing. And in some instances, I think that's okay, but then in other instances, I'm like, okay, I gotta be humble too. Like when I mess up, I make sure I apologize. Because I'm not just an example for them in life, but I'm also a standard. I feel like having two daughters of how they're gonna be treated by men when that time comes, when they start dating and doing all that stuff. You know, so I wanna be the example for that area as well. Like it's okay to say, I'm sorry. It's okay to apologize. It's okay for me as a dad, your dad, as a grown up, to apologize and understand that I was wrong and things like that. So I'm really like big on that kind of stuff. And yeah, man.
So let's get into the subject that we were talking about as far as having our backgrounds and where we come from, right? Mm-hmm. Having to be on a different type of alert. Right. Almost like not being able to trust people fully.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, I think I carried that with me. I know we went on vacation one time and we left our stuff on the like beach chairs, me and friends, and we were going on like a banana boat or whatever. And as we going back, we just keep looking back. We got our eye on like, where y'all gonna take us? Cause we need to. And they're like, y'all from New York, huh? We was like, yeah, how did you know? It was like, everybody that come down here from New York is always watching stuff, always watching everybody. And I think that just growing up in New York, like you're super observant. I do think that it's a little more politer in New York than down here. As crazy as it may sound, but...
How so?
When I first got down here, I thought there was going to be this Southern hospitality kind of thing. I forgot we're not like in Georgia, that type of Southern where, you know, it's Southern compared to New York. But Miami's just different. I love Miami, don't get me wrong. I really do. But I just think like in New York, everybody, if I say good morning to someone here, I might not get a good morning back. And I wasn't for a while. And I was like, what's going on? And someone was telling me, oh, it might be a language barrier. I'm like, these people are black. They know English, like, but they just weren't saying anything. But they were just like, that's how it is sometimes down here. Whereas in New York, even if I give you a head nod, good morning, I'm just so used to that. It's always, we always acknowledge each other, just a nod, just keep it moving. We're still moving, but it's a nod. But yeah, I mean, super observant, super like always like head on the swivel. Me and my boy always say, keep your head on the swivel kind of thing. Like, I got down here and I could be a little loose. I'm a dad though. So like even in the neighborhood, I'm looking out. We live in a nice neighborhood, but it's like, you know, I'm looking out, making sure, because you always get those creepy stories, and I want to be present and visible. You see me, I'm always around. My daughter's always around my family. So, but yeah, I grew up in LI, and people kind of look at that like, oh, it's LI, but it's like, bro, we're literally Brooklyn, Queens, same island. A lot of my friends are from Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights. My wife's from Queens. So I'm in those areas, you know, a lot of the times where events take place, Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, all over New York City. I'm not going to say it's like, I guess I'm not going to say it's bad, but, you know, it's different. It's just like a different environment. Even growing up, I felt like we had some gangs in the town, certain blocks you couldn't go on, or I was an athlete, so it was kind of love in the sense that, and I was always cool with a lot of people, but certain areas, like, they don't care about that. So it's just like, all right, we're just gonna stay away from this block, or, you know, we gotta know somebody to be over here. And then gangs came into the play after. So, like those little things, we always gotta feel like we watching over ourselves, or the town over. Got a problem with some of the guys in the town. They coming over here to, you know, all that stuff. So, you know, just nonsense, teenage, stupid stuff that you know, just kind of grow up around, and fights and all this stupid stuff, you know, what stems from like nothingness.
To highlight that, man, I associate that with a form of like scarcity, nervousness, anxiety. And I'm speaking from my own experience too. Like I was no gangbanger. It was all around me though. I had cousins who were in gangs. One street over, it was gang territory, and like a street or a freeway is not going to stop it, right? It flows back and forth. You see it everywhere, right? And I know that like being here now, it feels like I could be at ease. Like I'm not that I didn't feel like I was stressed out before. Just kind of like if you don't realize you're unhealthy until you get healthy, you're like, ooh, I was unhealthy before.
Right? For sure.
Kind of like that. I didn't realize that I was a little bit stressed out. I couldn't let my guard down, even though I still don't let my guard down in full now. Like my head's on a swivel, like till this day.
Always.
When my girlfriend Angie, when she goes out on a walk or she goes to a run, I'm like, hey, make sure you keep your eyes on your surroundings. Like, watch out. Like, look around. Like, one headphone in, one headphone out. Right? Even though she don't listen to me, but still, like, I approach life like that.
I think it's beneficial too. Like,
it is.
Just to kind of like, you don't want to be naive either, you know. So I think growing up where we grew up at, it's been a help in a sense too. But being here is like, we don't have to be as anxious. I mean, I'm sure there's areas out here that are crazy too, but it's like, I'm not in those environments anymore. So
yeah, so I feel like since it's not, I don't feel as constricted. I feel like I'm more of a flow now.
Yeah, me too.
Things just flow to me easily.
Too.
Can you expand upon that and talk about that? Because the reason why is because I know a lot of people personally who are anxious being in a relationship, or they're stressed out raising kids, they're stressed out in their jobs, they're stressed out commuting back and forth, whatever. Like all these different things in their life, right, has them constricted.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I just kind of. And again, I thought of this morning too. I know I was on my mind, maybe because I knew I was coming here. Yeah. But you know, I just kind of come to the realization that, you know, certain things can be taken away from me. So what's traffic? Like, it is what it is. At least I have a job. My family's at home. Let me just get home safe. That's it. As long as I get home safe, I may be delayed because Miami traffic is insane. But you know, I just feel like at any moment, anything could be taken away from me, and I have to give grace and I have to give thanks and be grateful for it. So again, just adopting that growth mindset and that whole everything's gonna be okay kind of thing. I think that's what's like to answer your question, what's like gotten me to become this like more of a let it flow kind of guy. Like, you know, my wife now, she used to be the let it flow. And I used to be the anxious one. Now she's like, how are we going to do this? Oh, we got to get the roof fixed. I just be like, all right, we'll do it. It'll be fine. Like, why are you worrying? Like, kind of thing. Because everything's always been all right. There's not, you know, I got to a point where I forgot what I read, and it was just like, anxiety is, what were they saying anxiety was? Like, what could happen? It ain't even happened yet. And I'm sitting here super anxious for it. Like, oh, what if this happens in 2 days? Like, it didn't even happen yet. So being present also has been a big, you know, help in those regards too. Because, you know, being, like as a parent, you mentioned like people being stressed as a parent. Yeah, it have its stressful moments, you know. But I just know that these times we won't have forever. There's going to be a time when my house does not hear those little giggles and little footsteps running around. Be a time when dad's not as cool as he thinks he is, and they don't want to hang out with me. So I'm trying to like cherish and embrace these moments, similar to like work and things like that. At some point, maybe I'm not the most sought after guy in the building or one of, you know what I mean? And I have to really value the present in the moment that I'm in, and it just get better and better as the days go by. So yeah, man, like my boy came to visit, you know, he kept mentioning things, like I think we were out somewhere, and he was just kind of mentioning like the past me that would have got anxious or would have been like, oh, we gotta, you know, now. And I told him, I said, since I've moved here, bro, I haven't really felt that. Could be the sunshine, could be the environment that I'm in, or just like the last 4 years, my experiences here in the last 4 years, but I don't really feel that anymore, and I never want to feel it again. Like, I really didn't know, like you said, you didn't know you were unhealthy until you got healthy. I didn't know I was like depressed, or that I knew I felt anxious at times, but I didn't know it was to the point where I was like, and I wasn't like depressed where it was like, look at Omar, like he's down, or he's addicted to something. Like, no, I was still working out. I still felt like I was myself, but and there were certain moments and times when I would be I was just in my own head all the time, overthinking things, and again, thinking about 3 days from now, and everything's good right now, but I'm thinking about 3 days from now for no reason. So, I kind of like, I remember in 2021 kind of saying that to myself, like nothing. I used to write it before I left, and I would write it down, put it on the fridge, and before I left in the morning, I would touch it. Nothing's unattainable. Nothing's unattainable. I will be all right. Everything's good. Like, and then I just stuck. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be all right. I'm not worried about anything. When whatever challenges that come my way, I'll face them head on when they get here. But right now, as everything's cool, I'm not even thinking about it. So,
dude. Absolutely, bro. Yeah. I'm such a huge believer in writing that stuff down. Whatever your intention is, whatever you want to embody, and what you were saying, touching it, reminding it, whatever you got to do, tap into it every single day, as many times as you can too. It's a state of mind.
Absolutely.
It's a level of belief.
I read Mamba Mentality, the Kobe Bryant book, and that was one of the things that, one of the things he talked about was not sacrificing his like family time and his work time. So those, we go back to like, how am I always on, because at 4:00 in the morning, I know I have a job to do so that I can get home and do my first job is being a dad and a husband and all that stuff. So, and he kind of alluded to like, nothing's unattainable. You just got to work for it. You got to wake up every day and just be habitual and just do your thing. So that's how I've adopted it, and it's been good for the last 4 years. I think I may have expressed to my family one day, like, I feel anxious today for some reason. It went away, but I didn't know where it came from, but at least I was like kind of aware of it, identify with it, and I'm like, yo, I didn't feel like that in years, man. Like, I haven't felt like that in years. So
did you find out what it was?
No, I don't know. Maybe it was just like, I have no idea. Maybe I had too much pre-workout coffee or something like that had me feeling antsy, but yeah, that was I feel like that was it, honestly. But
that's cool. You just let it go.
Yeah, I get it, let it go. And I try to. I'm having a hard time meditating because I can't shut off. And I think that's just just me just wearing 1,000 hats, like, because I'm thinking about emails. I'm thinking about, okay, this client needs this, or oh shoot, I didn't run this payment, or dang, there's gymnastics practice today, or I'm thinking about 20,000 things. But that's one of the things that one of my mentors, Dean, would always tell me, like, yo, if you get a thought, just let it go. Get a thought, just let it go. So although I'm having a struggle applying it to meditation and life, it's been a good practice.
That's cool, man. Yeah. Not to get too deep into meditation. I've been meditating for years now, and it completely revolutionized.
That's what my mom said.
Life. Oh yeah. I used to be a very angry person. I had a lot of anger issues and would explode and pop off. This is like over 10 years ago.
Okay.
When I started meditating in 2011, 2012, 13, 14, and so on, it was 3 times a day. Whatever I do, I get obsessed with it and I go all in.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
It completely chilled me out. And at that time, I was going through a divorce, where things are naturally chaotic, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or typically chaotic. And I was able to maintain my emotions, man, and really create a different relationship with my emotions and my feelings and my mindset, understand what thoughts were, and watch things pop up. And the one thing that I always tell my clients and everybody else when they're picking up meditation is the war that you're having with trying to be present with yourself and those thoughts coming up. That is meditation.
Okay.
That chaos, that frustration, that's meditation.
Okay, perfect. Then I'm doing it right.
Yeah, you are doing it right. The golden part that comes and goes every now and then is the part where you come out of your meditation, you're like, what the fuck just happened? You're like, oh my God, I think I was really meditating. Like, that's when you get to that place of bliss or nothingness, right? But that happens sometimes. But it's really the battle of catching it and then releasing it. And that's really what we're doing, what we want to do all day long, ideally.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have a lot of friends that kind of like spill, like they just get with me and they just talk. When I asked my friend, because I have a lot of lady friends too, and I asked her, like, why do you always tell me everything? They share everything. And then it's like, you're disarming. And that's the second time I heard that. I heard that at a job too. Like I got promoted to be their assistant leader at a place called Health Tracks, and it was just like, well, you're disarming. You pretty much disarm people. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? And they explained to me, like, it's a calm. The energy is calm. You're trustworthy. It's disarming. So like, a lot of people tell me, and then she also told me, like, you don't judge me either. So I'm not gonna run and tell, hey, look, guess what, so like, it's all right. You had this experience. You sharing it with me. It's a sacred space. It's a safe space. Share it with me. You know what I mean? So that's like my thing too now. Like, I just want everybody around me to be good, feel good, and I think it overflows into what I do on a day-to-day at work. You know what I mean? Because that's the same approach that I have. I just want everyone around me to feel good, look good, and just have a really good experience. And I think people are able to see that genuine, organic, authenticness about me, and they gravitate. And that was when Dean, he kind of told me before, even like social media stuff. I'm like, bro, like when it first came out, Instagram or Twitter, whatever, he signed me in all these things at first, and he's just like, bro, you can put whatever you want out there as long as you're being your true, authentic self. And I was like, yeah, that's fire, bro. You know what? Because now nobody can call me out. I saw you doing this. You're like, nah, man, I'm being me, like all 100%, 360. Like, I'm being me. Sometimes I'm emotional. On this day, I'm feeling great. I'm working out. I'm a dad. You see it all, bro. This is just what it is. So,
dude, if you did it, whatever it is, if you did it, you could talk about it. And no one can say absolutely. It didn't happen. Yeah. You're like, nah, motherfucker, I did it. Yeah. You're like, you can't say nothing about that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Firm believer in that. I want to ask you this question. We've all been judged in life, right? We've all been criticized over certain things. Not like Alejandra saying, hey, that's weak, too much, or too less weight.
That's constructive.
Yeah, that's constructive, yeah. But like, we've been judged and criticized throughout our lives about different things. What have you been judged and criticized for where you're just like, damn, man, like, is this true? Like, maybe this is true. And then you got to a point where you embraced it, and then now it's something that you're like, shit, I'm proud of that. And maybe you transformed it into something else.
So, I was always, even now, I'm always curious about the perception of me, like what people think or who they think I am, things like that. So much that at one point I was like going the extra mile to be this like the Zen God, like everything was cool. But then I started to be like, man, I gotta be human too. You're pissing me off today, and I'm gonna let you know, that kind of thing. But I think like there was a time, the thing that affected me, I guess the most, was there was a time when I was working with a group of creatives, and one of the guys that we tended to clash a little bit would kind of say that I was like bad for business, you know what I mean? Because I guess I wasn't fitting the mold that, whatever he wanted to accomplish or who he wanted me to be. And I was like questioning myself as a business person, as a professional. And then I got to Miami, where I got to start it over again, and I had to rebuild my brand, rebuild my business, rebuild clientele in a place that was extremely foreign to me. College was easy. I got to college, everybody's new to college. We go through a college experience. I'm an athlete. That was easy. But moving somewhere as an adult, and kind of starting all over, then I started to see, like, wait a minute, nah, he was wrong. You know what I mean? I think it might have been him, or his perception of me was just all wrong, because I was really questioning myself too. Like, am I like too, I don't know. Like, at one point I thought I was like just too flamboyant, like I was loud and I was just out there all the time, because when we had events and stuff, I'd be in the forefront for the most part. So I started to kind of fall back and just let everybody else, because I didn't want anybody saying like, he's always. And then I started to think like, well, I'm making myself small for somebody else, to feel comfortable. That's an insecurity on their part. That has nothing to do with me. And again, when I got to Miami and I started to see all the opportunities, and I started to experience success, and like just again meeting all these people, being in these places, and just kind of like training these dope people and stuff like that, like it just kind of put things in perspective, because it was like, wow, I've been extremely consistent in my business. I was forced to rebuild. No one knew me here. No one was like, oh, that's Omar from so-and-so. That's my friend. No, go see him. No, I was a complete stranger to everyone in this city. We were coming down here to just visit eat and party and go home kind of thing, back to New York. So now I'm in a position to kind of like really create a rapport, really build with people, really help people. And that was when when it was like a light bulb, like, oh yeah, that's other people's perception, their insecurities and their flaws, and they're kind of like projecting that onto me. I'm actually really good for business. I actually really am an asset to most of the things, or all of the things, out, you know, without being extremely arrogant about it, but I think I'm an asset to everything that I'm involved in, you know, because it is that genuine, organic, authentic experience all the time. So if I don't want to help, or if I don't want to be involved in it, I'm not going to do it. You know, I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses. I'll challenge myself, but if it's like, I don't want to do that, I can't see myself adding any value to that, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to raise my hand like, I want to do it. But the things that I see that I want to be a part of, I think I do add a little value to it.
I love that, man. I love that answer. So basically you're saying here that you were criticized for being, let's say, too much.
Yeah, like just kind of like, you know, I was always like, I wouldn't do this, or why are you doing that, or I think that's bad practices and stuff like that. And it was just like, damn, bro, can I do anything right? I think, is it really me, or is it really like you and what you expect out of me, or kind of, you know, I don't know. I think it was a self thing, like
you're doing more than what I typically do, so you're a threat, or you shouldn't do it because it's too much. Like, I think you should back it up a little bit,
right? So,
to play at your level, you want me to play.
Right.
Oh, got you.
So, and then now it's just like, you know, I'm here and I'm doing my thing, and it's just like, it's a testament to all the things that I used to do and it got me here. You know, all those little things that certain people weren't like fond of. I'm here, like, you know what I mean? So. And like Lyle, I'm extremely competitive, like the same way, like, you know what I mean? That stuff drives me. I love it. I enjoy it. I embrace it. So yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, man.
One more question here. You talked a lot about the mindsets, the environments that inspire you, that uplift you, right? And you're around it 24/7.
Right.
I think it's the best thing you can do.
Absolutely.
What are certain mindsets or personalities that you see that you're not really about, but still inspire you? Maybe it's like, I never want to be like that. I want to be like this instead.
Oh, we discussed this that day, and it was definitely the people that know it all. I hate that.
We did talk about it today, huh? That's right, we did. Okay.
The know-it-alls. I mean, I make the joke like, I rather coach children because, you know, adults think they know everything. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But yeah, like we talked about earlier, you got to be coachable. You got to be willing to learn. Like, you have to be on a day-to-day. You're never too old to stop learning. Like, never too old to stop learning. And you don't know everything. You have no idea. If I thought I knew everything, I'd still be doing certain exercise routines that I did when I first started that I don't think were working or would work now. It's just like, when I look back at my training then, I'm like, what were you doing that for? Because you saw it somewhere. It's so dumb. So like, I think that the person that just kind of, that inspires me, like, you just know everything. I do not want to be like this guy. I don't want to be the guy that's like, I got it. I know it all kind of thing. I just hate it. Be coachable, be open to learn, be open for criticism, redirection. I think that's important, you know what I mean? Because again, like, there were certain things that I thought like, I know this is going to happen. It didn't. And I could have folded, but I was just like, all right, let's just redirect. I learned from that. It's okay. We'll approach it differently next time, those types of things. So that mindset, or that type of person, and this is a lack mentality. Like, I don't like that. Like, I think everybody should think in abundance, you know? And when you do think in abundance, you end up helping people around you. Something that we have at Lifetime, I keep bringing Lifetime, but something that we have at Lifetime is like SNS, like selling for other trainers, you know, helping other trainers. Now, you know, not here in this particular location, but I'm sure there's places where people, or other gyms where it's like, I want all these clients. I'm not going to give them to anybody because what if I lose someone? And it's like, bro, like, if you lose someone, you're going to get someone again. There's the growth mentality. There's the mentality of abundance. And I find that I see people who are the opposite of that, like, lacking in business because of it, because they have that lack mentality. It's okay. I might not have the expertise to work with this person with this particular illness or ailment or anything like that. I'm going to put them in the best hands possible. And in return, that person, hey, Omar, I appreciate it. You could have took me, but you gave me to so-and-so. He's gotten me better. She's gotten me better. this is amazing. My friend, she's interested in this, something that I might be able to do. She's coming to the gym tomorrow. I'm going to introduce you, and there it is. You know what I mean? Even though I push that person towards someone else, now this in return, it just works itself out full circle. So the growth mindset is definitely something that, you know, I love. The lack is something that I dislike, and the know-it-alls piss me off. So.
Okay, I know I said last question was the last question, but this is the last question.
Yeah.
Okay, and since I didn't do an intro or get your intro, who you are, we're going to do that at the end too.
Okay.
Right? We'll just leave it at the end probably as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
I said this is the last question. What was the question? Boomerang. It's going to come right back to me. Oh, there it is. I always say boomerang because I picture whatever it is that I thought I lost.
Coming back.
Right back. You are departing this physical body, right? Okay. This earth now. And Omar is leaving behind one last message. All right, one last message. And Omar is also wiping away everything he has ever said before on social media to his clients. This is something fresh. This is something new. This is something original.
Dang.
What would you be saying, man? Overall message. And it could be to your younger self. It could be to anybody, anything.
I would definitely leave with the, you know, especially if I'm talking to my younger self or just my children or just, you know, anybody that, you know, has challenges, obstacles, which is everybody. But I would definitely go with the nothing's unattainable. I think that phrase or those words have really, really resonated, and they've helped me. And I think they help people around me when I say that. You'll be fine. Nothing's unattainable. I promise you that, man. And then I give them examples. And then, so yeah, I just think that's inspiring enough to let people know, like, you know, you can do whatever it is you say that you're gonna do or put your mind to and work towards. It doesn't happen without the work. You know, you can't just say, you know, nothing's unattainable and just sit around and hang out and figure like things are gonna fall in your lap. You do have to work, but nothing's unattainable for sure. And then, you know, also like it's a marathon, not a sprint. You know, because I got out of college and I was like, oh yeah, it's time. I'm a man. I'm about to drive these cars and be lit, and that did not happen. But in time, things started to fall into place, and I'm very, very blessed right now. So
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Okay. Thank you, Omar.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you too. Thank you. So this last part here is the intro. So who are you? What do you do? Where are you from?
All right. My name is Omar Walden. I am originally from New York. I'm a personal trainer. I'm one of the assistant PT leads here at Lifetime in Coral Gables.
Yeah. A little bit of history of college.
I went to the Virginia State University in Petersburg, Virginia. I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I'm also a member of Future African American Millionaires Incorporated. The acronym is FAM Inc. That's a business and entrepreneurial organization that was founded in 2000. Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, of course, January 1911. Yeah, I mean, I ran track. I ran track in college. I ran the 400 meter relay, the 2. I ran over at the 50th anniversary invitational at UTEC, which is in Kingston, Jamaica. So I ran at Worlds. I ran in the men's division when I was in college. I took the bronze, so I was pretty fast. Throughout life, I boxed. I wrestled. Wrestling was actually my one.
I never knew that.
Yeah, man. Wrestling, I will tell you, wrestling was my one. I loved that. That was my sport. A friend of mine, the guy that my mom called a little man that wanted to run his way out into college, came to my practice, talked to my coach. That's why we call him a little man. He's in like 11th grade at the time, negotiating. Like, he needs to come upstairs. I think there'll be more of a future for him than in track than wrestling. And I'm like standing there, I don't want to go up there. I went up there, there was girls up there. And then we went to like Eastern State Championship and then national. So I'm like, oh, we really are nice. And then I just knew that the exposure that I was getting from track I wasn't gonna get in wrestling.
There's no girls in the wrestling.
And there's no girls in there. No, we in the dungeon on the mats. And then, you know, I played football as well as a cornerback. So I have an extensive athletic background. I think that's what helped me in life. And then recently I took the bronze at the Miami Showdown in Hialeah in the 198 weight class for powerlifting. So that's just something I've been into lately. Thanks to the good brother Lyle for kind of like encouraging me to do that. You I'm like, bro, I'm in my 30s, bro. He's like, so what's that mean? Like, you know how he loud and he don't care. You better compete, man. You ain't here putting all this weight up. Go compete. And I took the bronze, so we're due for another one. So yeah, man, like, I'm always trying to challenge myself, always trying to get better, always trying to learn. So that's my thing.
Oh, so what about jiu-jitsu?
Jiu-jitsu. Let me tell you a story about jiu-jitsu.
Oh, we got a story. Okay, we're going to keep it rolling.
So a good friend of mine, Lennox Norville, I'm going to say his name because he's a decorated football player, Delaware State, Alfred State, and then he played Freeport High School football on my team. That's my guy, running back. That's my guy. No offense, Lyle, you my guy too. But Lennox took me to Belmore Kickboxing in Long Island. And the guy, I go in, they're going to jiu-jitsu practice. I don't know anything about jiu-jitsu. And I go in and I'm like, yo, I'm trying to roll too, whatever. He's like, you got any like background or anything? I'm like, I wrestle. He's jump in. He ain't asked me no other questions. Jump in. So me and Lennox are going at it. I shoot it at his legs. And then he kind of like, so what I used to do when somebody shot at me, a cobra. So it's like a headlock. I put my hand on their hip and I kind of bump them. So I'm thinking he's going to try to put me in a cobra. He puts me in the crazy headlock. Now, I don't understand what's going on because in wrestling, if I put you in a headlock, I have to keep your arm in, in the headlock. That's a rule. His hand is just around my neck. So I'm like, bro, he not letting go. So he finally lets go. I'm sore for 3 days after that. I'm like, bro, what is that? He like, nah, in jiu-jitsu, you don't have to put the arm in. He just choking me out. So I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. So, cause my neck was killing me. So I'm like, all right, there's no way I'm gonna be going to Belmore Kickboxing every week. Then I come down here. When La was in the beginning stages, I used to be able to kind of run with him a little bit. But now that I'm looking, I'm like, man, if I make any wrong move, he's going to lock my ankles up and I'm going to die on that mat. So I kind of was just like, I don't know. And I see all the work that he's put in. And I'm just like, I don't think I'm not as passionate about it to go in and get right. And I want to make sure that if I do that, I'm like all the way 100% in, like I am with the powerlifting stuff. Like being super strong and kind of like, picking up heavy weights was like really cool. And I'm into it. The jiu-jitsu, I'm just like, I don't know, man. So maybe one day, maybe I'll get into it. But
I respect that.
I definitely have the wrestling background. He's always telling me like, you have the background, that's all you need. You'll be a beast in there. But I'm just like, I have to get used to the whole. So maybe I'll get with him a couple of times and see what he can teach me, because he taught me the kettlebells, and I can carry that with me. So that'll be cool, because if we were wrestling, I would have 100% confidence. But if you throw a jiu-jitsu guy in there with me, I'm gonna be like, oh God, because I remember once, not to be long-winded, I think one time I tried to shoot it loud, and he just laid on his back. I'm like, I'm not even getting involved with you, bro, because you laying on your back means that it's about to be over for me. I'm not doing this with you.
You look
man.
all calm in the face,
The first times we did it, he was trying to attack back. Once he got like into it, how he like years in, he just stopped doing that and just like, all right, I'm just lay right here. Go ahead, do whatever you gotta do. I'm like, never mind, bro. So that's fire though, because I definitely would love to be that confident in that sport, because I mean that's something you have to have. I think I'm gonna put my daughters in that. One of my oldest was in it for a little while, but I think she was 3 at the time. So I was like, she's not really. They're not. I felt like they were just giving them activities. They weren't really teaching them how to do it. So now that she's a little older, I think next school year I'm gonna put her back in there and get it going, because I think it's important, especially for little girls. You're not gonna be trying to grab my girl up.
Yeah, take it home like, you have another arm. You took another arm home with you.
Right, exactly.
This guy was acting stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Snap some ankles. We're good. All right, cool. We'll deal with that. Then anybody trying to put their hands on you or anything like that, especially girls and pulling hair. No, don't. But I got them boxing, so she knows a little bit of that. But I want her to be able to like move and kind of twist you up if she has to. So both of them.
Yeah, you could like you could defeat someone real easily and like not have them be hurt and not leave any marks if you choke them out.
No, I've seen a snippet on Instagram. There was a guy, they were playing basketball, and the guy got pissed and swung on the guy, and he like grabbed his arm and kind of was like, listen, I'll pull it out. And he just kind of chilled out, just the warning shot, because I could pull your arm out your socket, but I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that, but I'll just call Lyle. I'll call you, figure it out.
Well, brother, man, I appreciate you so much, man.
Appreciate you for having me.
Man.
Thank you, man.
Do you have anything else you want to say? Anything you want to leave behind here?
Oh, man, nothing's unattainable. Just take that with you. Have a growth mindset. Everything in abundance. Don't sweat the small stuff. And every little loss or challenge is just a learning experience. It's a lesson. Just keep moving forward, man. Stay positive, and that's it.